The question or kind of like objection that we hear all the time from especially solopreneurs that, they've kind of been in business 1, 2 years, they're doing it all themselves. And they're just like, look, I don't know if I have the time or can afford to have somebody like I don't have any hours in my day to like train a new employee. Well, the reason they don't have any hours in their day to train a new employee is because they're not delegating yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our podcast. Today's guest is Harley Green. I got to meet Harley a few weeks ago and formed a really great bond. Got a lot of great things in common. And today, Harley's our guest on our show. So, hey, Harley, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mark. My name is Harley Green. I'm the founder of Workergenics. I'm a passionate real estate investor and entrepreneur and just love sharing my knowledge and experience with everybody else. So appreciate you having me on your podcast today.
You're quite welcome. How'd you become an entrepreneur?
Well, we've had several small businesses over the years, ranging from like a customizable children's book business to a small homestead where we did farming and to real estate agent business and real estate investing. And now we do the virtual staffing business as well after, learning how to do business as well and leverage people's time.
You hit something that probably my audience would have interest in. A lot of the folks I work with are in the staffing and recruiting business. And I know a little bit about what you do, but tell me more on how you help with your virtual staffing.
We experience the pains and the joys of working with people virtually across our businesses that we've had over the years. And so we decided in 2022 to take all those lessons learned, put them all together in a simple package so other business owners can have similar success in their businesses, leveraging people virtually to have the growth they need and the time they need to focus on the most important things in business.
Means any industry, anywhere where somebody is, I shouldn't guess. What are the key triggers you see? When do people need to be thinking about, hey, I'm up to my eyeballs. I'm not getting my work done, or I'm spending time on the wrong things. What's that look like?
People that are feeling that overwhelm and they have, put in all the time and their business is not where they want it to be. And they you can't make more hours in the day. You can't work more hours than there are hours in the day. Eventually you're going to hit a limit of what the income you can generate doing it all yourself. People who are realizing they've hit that limit and realize they need to delegate and want to do it in the most cost-effective way possible, we're able to help find them really talented, skilled people that have college degrees and excellent written and spoken English that just happen to live overseas where they have a much lower cost of living. So we're able to create an amazing savings for people who want to grow scale while creating life-changing careers for our employees.
Excellent. So what are some of the things that your team does to help somebody like me is an entrepreneur?
Sure.
Yeah.
So it depends what your business is. We do really well with professional service businesses. We can help get people that are the principals of those business or the leadership teams, executive assistants. I call them ultimate executive assistants because they do a hybrid set of roles that are uncommon to find in the US marketplace, and especially at the price point. So we often find people who are kind of a hybrid between like a bookkeeper that can do all your record keeping, financial reporting, and then also invoicing and billing for clients, as well as general administrative work and maybe some extra things on the side, like doing customer service, social media marketing. And we find people that have those dual skills and are eager and happy to do those combination of things for our clients for less than $2,000 a month with no headache for 1099s and no hassle with W-2s or payroll taxes.
What I'm hearing as a business coach is I'm taking all the stuff that I shouldn't be doing, and it gives me the time and the freedom to go out and do closing deals, find the right client, and then deliver my services to them. And the stuff in between is kind of where you and your team come in.
That's exactly right. And, you really nailed it where you said it's doing the things that you should be doing, what you do best. So many people get into business because they're good at something, right? They're skilled. They've got a special talent, some special knowledge. They didn't get into business, except for people who are in the business of like bookkeeping, to do bookkeeping and administrative work, right? But those things are critical functions of the business. They need to get done. And why not do it in a very cost-effective way? On the flip side, there are some roles where we can actually help people find professionals that perform the professional service that is a revenue generator. So that model is even more beneficial in many cases because it's actually become a revenue source. For example, talking about those people who have bookkeeping businesses, CPAs, accounting firms. a lot of their local staff can be really overwhelmed and doing the daily kind of routine bookkeeping, attaching receipts, categorizing things, following up with clients, making sure they've got the receipts. That can be delegated to a virtual assistant so that your local staff can be more productive and have a more enjoyable job. And then on the flip side, for more professional work like website development, video editing, podcast editing, those are all things that are done really well by the virtual assistants that we're able to find so that those people who have those businesses can kind of have like this amazing leverage of like they're charging X amount, they're only having to pay Y amount, and that middle is the profit.
So I'd imagine it would be really beneficial. Again, if we're talking about CPAs or anybody who has a peak time of the year. Again, most people know accounting, there's April 15th that looms over everyone here in the US. But look, a lot of industries have certain seasonality where it may make sense. Hey, I need somebody for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months. Is that kind of where this kind of could fit in as well?
It can, yeah. So the great thing about this service is it's really flexible. It's a monthly service, so you're only signing on for a month at a time. And after the month, you're not seeing amazing results, or your business is contracting a little bit. You don't need that help anymore. You just let us know. We hit press pause. It really makes it convenient for people. It gives people the option of flexing between part time and full time. So one of the problems we've solved is people say, "Well, look, I've got a part time task that I need. It's 20 hours a week. I don't anticipate it being 40. So I need someone who's skilled and I can trust to do this well. But if I hire someone part time, what often happens is after 2 or 3 months of being with them, they leave because they're looking for full time work, right? They need full time work to be able to support their family. We have solved that with Workergenics, where we hire every single person on our team full time. They get full time paying benefits with a life changing job for where they live. Our clients can then flex between part-time and full-time, and then we just employ them internally, like our inside sales work, while they're not doing the 40 hours with the client.
Outstanding. Do they work US hours, or how would that work if, let's suppose it was me that was saying, probably I need help in these areas. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we really want to make sure we have team members that are working the same time as our clients are working. So they're going to work your time zone, whatever that time zone is. And even if you travel, so if you're starting East Coast time and you travel over to the West Coast, you just let your assistant know, hey, we're going to shift our schedule this week. And that's no problem. Really important that we build a strong relationship with our team members and meet with them regularly. Are able to have the synchronous work and feedback and not have to wait like 24 hours to get an email answered.
Time is the enemy or the deal killer of most businesses. So it sounds like you're very much on top of making sure that you're not only delivering the service, but your employees are productive, they're happy, and your clients, you're making that marriage work.
We get the benefit of having great talented people at affordable rate, plus having strong culture. So one of the advantages of the system that we've created is because they remain our employees, even though they're directly supporting our clients and dedicated to them. We are able to take care of them as our employees and have people that are local to where they live doing things like team happy hours, dinners out, sending them the gift baskets when they have a baby or Christmas and things like that. So like we're very attuned to their specific cultural needs and taking care of those issues internally so that a lot of the problems that typically people have when they work with people overseas are completely mitigated in this model.
What do you think the question that I may not have asked that you think you'd want the folks watching or listening to this broadcast to know about?
Well, the question or kind of like objection that we hear all the time from especially solopreneurs that, they've kind of been in business 1, 2 years, they're doing it all themselves. And they're just like, look, I don't know if I have the time or can afford to have somebody. Like I don't have any hours in my day to like train a new employee. Well, the reason they don't have any hours in their day to train a new employee is because they're not delegating yet. And so by making that initial investment, they're able to start delegating. And I like to use the 80-20 rule or the pair two principle. When you get started with the task, let's say you've got a 100-minute task that you're doing every week, but maybe it's your bookkeeping. Maybe it's like keeping with social media, doing your newsletter, sales calls to clients, right? If you can take 20% of that time, so 20 minutes in that week, to just set up your new employee with the access they need to the resources, a little bit of instructions, and then some time at the end to give review and feedback.
Mm-hmm.
They're now doing 80 minutes at that time. So he's got 80 minutes. That's week one. Now, week two, you're only having to do a little bit of feedback, right? Just kind of tweaking things. So now it's like 90-10. So now you have 90 minutes in week two. The next week three, they got it 100%. It's locked down. They've got procedure. Now you just got 100 minutes freed up. And that's just in 3 weeks doing one task.
Look, what you do certainly fits well with the folks that I work with in terms of, hey, I need to scale a business. What does that mean? I need systems, I need processes, I may need people development, or I may need to delegate some of the stuff that is not revenue producing, aside from what we just talked about, bookkeepers and so forth. So when people want to get to know you and find out more about your business, how do they do that?
Absolutely. We've got a great website, workergenics.com. You can see our client testimonials, just a huge list of all the different examples of tasks that our clients have successfully delegated, just to help people get an idea of what might be possible. And then see some video examples of the quality of people that we provide. Everyone's got a college degree, excellent written and spoken English, and high-speed internet. So they're able to work just like any US-based employee, just not in your office.
Excellent. Carly, I want to thank you very much for being on our podcast. It was, again, a pleasure getting to spend time with you. And
Thanks, Mark. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for being part of our podcast this week. Enjoy the rest of your day. We look forward to seeing you soon.